Hey, this is Malika of Evanston Live TV, and I have with me a woman that everybody in Evanston knows or should know, Miss Lisa Laude.
Hi. I love how you say, this is Malika from Evanston Live TV. I love it. I love when your show starts.
Wait, say your name the proper way.
Yes. So the way my ancestors say it or would say it is Lisa Laude Raymond. That's my name.
Okay, Lisa Laude Raymond.
Yes,
Right now.
that was excellent. Excellent. You've got some Caribbean in you.
Sure I do. I'm sure I do. I would love to know. Absolutely love to know. So, lady, you got a lot going on. First of all, for anyone who doesn't know, she has her own radio show called Lift Your Life Radio, and it's on Radio La Difference. Say it
Yes.
the correct way. Say it the correct way.
Well, you did a great job, but I'll add to it. It's Radio La Différence.
Yes, yes. I love the way you say it. It just sounds so sexy. Just
To be honest, I love saying it too. I do.
And on her show, she brings on different guests. We find out what's going on in Evanston and actually all over. I mean, you have people calling in from Haiti. You have people calling in from everywhere.
Yes.
And it's just a great show. And I love tuning in, one, because of your energy, and two, because I love to hear you and Mr. Man talk with in your Haitian accent. I just love it. I love it. Like,
Thank you.
I wish I had an accent. I mean, Midwest.
You sound wonderful. And actually, I like watching your show, your television show, because I love your laid back approach. So I enjoy your laid backness, right? And then you watch for my energy. So, together we are great.
So you have this event coming up that I
Yeah.
think is really special, and everybody needs to know about this event. So you're gathering 12 women,
Yes.
and I want you to explain the concept behind it being 12.
Yes, yes, yes. I'd love to. Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you for allowing me to share. I think the day that they announced what the charges would or would not be for the murder of Breonna Taylor, I spoke to so many of my sisters who were really just devastated and, were feeling just unappreciated, not cherished, not loved. And I thought, we are grieving as Black women, and there's no reason that we should grieve alone.
Mhm.
So I felt like, based on what's happening in our environment currently, it called for us to come together as one. And so I was trying to figure out how many women. I knew I wanted to bring women who were in leadership. And as you said, we do have a global audience, but I felt like I wanted to do something locally because of what was happening in the Chicagoland area. So I was trying to figure out how many women in leadership in Evanston that I could bring together. And then I'm a woman of great faith, and I thought about a table for 12, because Christ, when he had something that was extraordinary that he needed to complete, he had an extraordinary assignment, and he chose 12. He had 12 come together to accomplish his goal. And so I thought 12 will be the perfect number. So I contacted 12 women who are leaders in the Evanston community and asked them to join me at a table so we can discuss issues that matter to us, issues that are about us. Of course, other people are important, but right now my focus is on me and mine, and that's the Black community. And so that's who I asked to come together. And so that's what we're going to do. We have 12 women in leadership in Evanston. And I know that there are plenty of women doing so much. There are much more than 12, but 12 is the number that we're having at our table.
And you want to run down that list? You have some awesome women.
Oh, I hope I remember everyone. Let's see. I should have come prepared. Well, of course, we asked Evanston Live TV to come. So you will be at the table.
I'll be there.
Yes. And the reason that I asked you to be at the table is because when our community was not being highlighted, you were there. And I always go back to when my brother was running as the only African-American male to join the District 202 school board, you reached out to him and you interviewed him. And I remember your video went viral, and it definitely had an impact on his campaign. So I know what the power of platform is and how you can use it to benefit your community, which you have done. And so I wanted you to be at the table. So you're at the table.
I feel honored. I do. So Lisa, I can pause it. You can get the list.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so you got that list, girl, because I want to make sure people know you got an amazing lineup. And I'm not saying that because I'm in the lineup. You got some badass women.
I do.
In your lineup.
I do. And we're still working on it because, of course, you know, we're all busy women. We have busy schedules. So a couple of times our sisters may need to fall back and we're going to have someone else take her seat. But just for today, here's what I'll share with you. But there's more to come. The Honorable Dolores Holmes.
All right now.
Pastor Rosalind Henderson. Pastor Deborah Scott.
Yes, yes.
Alderman Robin Ruth Simmons.
Of course.
Attorney Lynn Toussaint.
All right.
Monique Parsons.
All right.
Tanya Francelno.
All right.
Hannah Francelno. Tanya Vuzzi. That's where I got the Tanya from.
Yes, the girl.
Carly Butler.
All right, Carly.
Kimberly Holmes Ross.
All right now, Kimberly.
Officer Tasha Wilson.
Yes.
So we've got some powerhouses coming together.
Yes.
Right? And I've gotten calls and people are like, I don't see my name on that list. And I'm like, well, I could only have 12. So yes, it is very clear that there are many other Black women in leadership in Evanston, and we hope to have them on at another time, but we're going to have these 12 for now.
All right. All right. Yeah. And what do you think, what are you hoping to accomplish with this event? I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, we're going to be coming together, gathering around the table every Tuesday of October, 7:30 to 8 p.m. People are already telling me that's not enough time. I'm like, we're going to start with that. And the first week we'll be talking about, signaling the murder of Breonna Taylor and sending a message to our sisters. So our community will get an opportunity to hear from all 12 women in leadership in any way that they decide to express themselves to our sisters and to our community. And then we've got a topic each week. Our second week, Malika, you have to pause again. I'm killing you. So I wanted to make sure I had the right topics for you for each week. So this Tuesday night, it's a message from us in response to the murder of Breonna Taylor. So we'll be sending a message to our sisters in our community. October 13th, Our sisters will share wisdom, resources, what education is available on any topic that they're involved in, and how that can benefit our community. And then on October 20th, we'll talk about voting, of course, whether or not our vote counts, some strategies that they recommend, how to get the vote out, and is it okay to vote for just the president? Because a lot of people I've heard plan to do just that. So we need to talk about that, and we're going to have our sisters who are in leadership share their thoughts with us. Then on October 27th, we're going to ask them where their personal strength comes from, what their coping mechanisms are, what tools they've used to thrive. So I'm excited to hear what they have to say, and we'll go from there. I don't know what will come of this, but that's where we're going to start.
All right. Well, that's some good information to get out
Mm-hmm.
to women.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Black women grieving, and it's just another big disappointment. Again, we're never shocked by the outcome.
No.
Um, we're just not shocked when these verdicts come out, when these decisions are made,
Mm-hmm.
but we're left with that trauma, even though we weren't there with Brianna, but we feel her pain because many of us have, lost family members to injustice and have never gotten justice. And so it's a constant reminder. It's like the body retains the information.
Yeah.
And as Black women, we just keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, the most horrific things that can happen to a human being, we keep going, we keep going, we keep going. It's just in our blood, in our spirit, no matter
Yeah.
what, we just
Yeah.
keep going. But we hardly ever take time to really talk about it, really talk about it. And even amongst each other, we're constantly like, girl, you got this, you strong. And then there's times we're like, girl, I can't be strong today. I'm about ready to pass out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
No, and I think it's important. I guess the message is not just to our sisters in our community, but also to those who are not a part of our community, to understand that we as Black women, we continue to move forward out of love, out of dedication, out of commitment to our people. So when you don't see us have a breakdown, it's not because we don't hurt, because we are the most kind-hearted people you could know. So we grieve too, we're hurt too, but the strength comes from the love that we have from those who belong to us. So we keep going no matter what. So you may not ever see a Black woman break down. It's not because we don't have reason to, it's because our love and our commitment to those who belong to us keep us moving forward.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you think that sometimes staying in motion, though, adds to the trauma
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
we don't like talk about it? That's why I think it's great that you're having this, so we can talk about
Yeah.
these feelings, these things, because we don't even have time to talk about it, you know. Um, do you think that adds to it?
I think so. I think if
That
we,
constant staying in motion. That's what,
yeah,
because we do it. We stay in motion. Got
yeah.
to go to work. Got to we keep going, keep going.
And I don't think that's the best way to always handle it.
Mm.
However, sometimes so many of our sisters don't have a choice. So I think it is important for us to talk about it and deal with it in our own way. For some, it may be constant movement. I believe personally at some point, because I am a woman who, just likes to continue, keep it moving. At some point, it is necessary that we pause and we allow ourselves time to grieve and to process what we're going through, because some have said that Black women are being hunted. It's not a big deal when a Black woman disappears. It's not a big deal when a Black woman is sold into a sex trade, or it's not a big deal when a Black woman is murdered, an innocent Black woman, by police officers, and people just go and have a cup of tea elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot to grieve. There's a lot to process. And we just want to support and lift our sisters in whatever way they need to do that. But the message that I really want to drive home is that they matter, they're loved, they're cherished, and they do not have to grieve alone. So I thought that was a good place to start as we come and we gather together around the table.
Mm. And I know you're good at that because your profession, your career, well, one, it comes to you naturally. You're just a motivator.
Thank you.
And then two, this is your career. I mean, you've been trained to, I mean, you go out around the country helping corporations, teams, and big corporations to stay motivated and to deal with things that happen in the workplace. You coach people in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
So this is ideal that
Yep.
you be leading this. So, um, what would you say um, you bring from your career advice that you would give to a room full of corporate women in the
Mm-hmm.
workplace to
Mm-hmm.
what's happening to women right now?
Yeah. I remember I became a national speaker. Probably it's been 27 years. And I remember when I was going through the training, the university had we had to be certified as speakers. And I was going through the training. And I remember that week, it was a week long. And I said to myself, I'm going to gain all the knowledge that I can because someday I will share this information with my community. And so it took years for me to get there. But my goal now is everything that I've shared with others and other communities, um, the knowledge that I've gained, the wisdom that I've gained, what I've shared with others to allow them to progress and excel in what they do. I want to give that information to my community now. And so that's my goal. So everything that I've picked up in the years prior to today, I'm sharing it, I'm giving it because I want to see my sisters shine.
Mm.
Sometimes it's just the little things that, no one's ever shared with us and we don't know. And so, we experience these faux pas and we have no idea that that's the reason we didn't get promoted or that's the reason the promotion passed us up. We weren't invited to the table. So those tools, those skills, I want to give that to my community. Now, that's not what I'm doing at the table for 12 because all these women already know. But to those coming up, right,
Mhm.
entering the workplace, I want to help them get prepared so that their road will be a little easier than ours.
Yes, yes. What would you say were some of the toughest assignments that you went on? I mean, it had to be hard just being this beautiful Black woman. You're coming into this boardroom setting, with all these high-powered, white men, white women, probably a few people of color in the room for the training,
Mm-hmm.
for the workshop, the seminars. What would you say was the toughest experience?
I had a few of them, and probably it was toughest because it was the first time that I experienced it, but then it just continued to happen again and again and again. So probably my toughest day of training was for the US Navy. And, it was a group of
Okay.
people who didn't look like me.
Okay.
And I remember when I walked in, one of them said to me, if you're in here to teach us how to effing sing kumbaya, you're in the wrong place. So I guess they had upset their leader, and this was their punishment to bring me in to train them on how to communicate with one another. So that was one of the most difficult training days I had.
I
The
would imagine dealing with the military. I mean, that's a whole nother,
Yeah,
because
they
they
were
were.
not nice. They were not nice, but I made it through, and I became stronger because of it.
Well, they're
Probably,
in a zone anyway. They're kind of trained to
yeah.
be in a zone, to think a certain way, communicate a certain way, respond and react a certain way. So I bet, I mean, regardless of color of skin, I bet that would have been hard for anybody to walk into that room.
But they became one of my greatest clients, after that day, because, you know, we know as Black women, never let them see you sweat. And so when they realized that, she can handle this, they became a great client. Um, then the first CEO that I coached, he hired me to coach him, um, just in how to deal with his staff. It was a $600 million company. And he said to me, I'm hiring you, but I don't work with Black people. And you are the first Black person, that I'm going to hire. And he only said that after sitting in on my training class, because I was brought in to train his staff. And so he said, well, if you can handle these guys, I want you to train me and teach me how to do what you just did. So he hired me, but he was very clear. He's like, I don't, Black people, I don't like to hire Black people. They don't work hard. I'm sitting right there. But, he wrote me a check, a retainer check on the spot. So, but, it was a great opportunity to prove to him that he misunderstood our community. And after that, he hired several people of color that I referred to him, and he was very pleased. It's
Wow.
out there every day.
Wow. Well, you're a good one. I mean, what was your response, your immediate response when he said that?
I was silent because I was shocked, and I thought there's no need to try to defend. Since I knew that I was going to be working with him, I said I would just prove to him that he was wrong, and I did.
Mm.
I did. I always saw it as an opportunity to represent my race in a positive way anytime I was invited into an organization, a corporation. And I mean, until maybe recently, maybe the past 5 to 7 years, I may see people who look like me. Normally, I'm the only female, I'm the only person of color. But that has changed within the past, I would say, 7 years.
So what did he learn about Black people after working with you?
Well, he, of course, learned that we were hard workers. He learned that we were brilliant, which I already knew. And he hired some of his key positions in his organization were held by people of color after having worked with me. Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
I love hearing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love hearing that.
So that's why the platform is so important, because we are gifted.
Mm-hmm.
We do excel, but oftentimes we're not given the opportunity. So I also take opportunities seriously, right? Because it's our assignment to properly represent our community. If you get an opportunity and you mess it up for the entire community,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I try to always do what would make my ancestors proud. They go in the room with me, right?
Mm. I like that. They go in the room with you. I
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, Miss Laude Raymond,
Excellent, excellent, excellent pronunciation.
how can I know that there are people out there who would love to get in touch with you, to coach their companies, their staff, because you get people motivated. I mean, that's your main thing, is to get people motivated.
Mm-hmm,
Like,
mm-hmm.
you're not there to be a diversity consultant or train
No,
people in diversity. You're there to actually motivate them to play nice together
yeah,
and get great results. So the company
yes,
makes more money,
yes,
then you make more money.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, Malika, this is my, like I said, I think it's my 27th year. So Lisa is slowing down. But I just had a conversation with my nephew just today who's opening his own consulting firm. And, my goal now is to really mentor the next generation to take over, right? God's been good. I have steady clients. And right now, I want to work to make sure that the wisdom that I've gained is passed on, right? So that if a young Black woman wants to do what I've done for the past 27 years, she doesn't have to start from scratch, because I had to start from scratch. I didn't have, when I started as a corporate speaker traveling nationally, I didn't have mentors of color. I didn't have people who looked like me that I knew of who were doing what I wanted to do. I mean, I would see what's the Les Brown.
Mm-hmm.
It was like him, and I don't even know who else. I mean, that was the only man of color that publicly I could see who was doing what I wanted to do. So I want to be there for the next generation, and that's really
true leadership. That's true leadership. They always said, I've always learned, a true leader teaches others to lead. They're building up other leaders.
Yeah.
Someone who's just always in the front, but not feeding anyone to come up behind them. That's not a true leader.
Yeah. And that's my job now, to prepare the next generation. So.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, girl, tell us where everyone can tune in for the roundtable, the 12 women leadership roundtable discussion.
Yes, I'm so excited about it. As we're on here, I just got an email from Pastor Deborah Scott, so I'm excited to see what she has to say. It's every Tuesday night. You can watch it on Facebook Live. The Facebook page is Lift Your Life Radio, so you can go right there and watch it. It's also available at radioladifference.com. Because whenever I say radio, people say, what's that? So it's radioladifference.com. And
say it the right way.
Radio La Différence. And it's also on TuneIn Radio. So they can tune in, and I'm sure people will have, watch parties going on. So if you know one of our speakers, maybe check out their page. And if not, come on over to Lift Your Life Radio Facebook page, and you can watch us and hear us.
All right. Excellent. Excellent. And any last motivational message you want to get out there to the people?
Let's stick together. Let's stick together. Let's come together. Let's stick together. I was watching Sister Kim, the Advocates for Action show on Saturday, and they were talking about stay focused, right? We need to stay focused. We need to stay focused. And for you, sister, continue doing the great work that you're doing. I see you, stepping up on the national platform. That's because you've done the work locally, and what you're doing inspires me. And you're doing exactly what I just talked about. You're setting up the future for the next generation so that the history books will be correct. You're doing exactly what I'm talking about. You're giving back, and it will make it that much easier for the next generation of Black women to succeed. That's my goal. I want my community to shine. And whatever I need to do to be a part of that, let's go. Let's do it. Let's come together. Let's make it happen. Don't allow people to pull us apart.
That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience. I just ran in. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to be on time. And, didn't come completely prepared, which I train people to do, right? But you see, when you have connections and the right network, people will make room for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so many times when it's not someone in our network, there is no room made for us.
That's right. That's right. That is right.
That's why we have to support one another.
Well, you know the door is always open here at Evanston Live TV for you, always.
Thank you. And the same to you. Lift Your Life Radio wants to be kept abreast of everything that you're doing. In any way that we can support, our listeners want to be there for your endeavors.
All right. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Take care, Malika. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.